Hello everyone, back into today's second video. We're going to have a look at the weather for next week's 10 days, or today's second video, which takes around the 20th of April. So we're heading into the second half of the month with week's 10 day video update time frame now, and we'll be able to extend out beyond that, the extended GFS and ECL ensembles run to around a couple of weeks, and that's going to take us more or less to the end of April, of course. So I'll get on that for you very shortly. Just say that JMA Friday has been released. That's a month-ahead look ahead. And that's taking us into the early part of May, actually. So we'll have a look at JMA Friday and see what's going on there. Now, before I do anything else, I was going to say a big thank you to our latest PayPal donor. We've had another donation for Gaz Webbies through PayPal. So a big thank you to Anonymous. This person wants to stay anonymous. And, well, you know who you are, Anonymous. I know who you are. So, just a big thank you to you for your donation. If you would like to give a donation to Gaz Webbies and stay anonymous, that's not a problem at all. Just come to the Gaz Webbies PayPal page, sign into your PayPal account, and give a donation to Gaz Webbies however much you want. And by doing that, you're going to be helping to fund GazWebbies.com through these troubled times. But you're going to get a mention in the videos. So if you would rather not have mentioned, rather say anonymous, that's fine. We'll just say thank you to this anonymous person. But otherwise, we will give you a shout out. And we'll say thank you so much for doing that. Been totally blown away by the response over the past few weeks. I've been explaining in the videos that we are at the moment going through this crisis with the coronavirus, which means advertisements, and we are primarily as funded, advertisements are not paying out as much as they would normally do, so anywhere near as much actually, and that means we're looking for other revenue streams like PayPal, like Patreon. So if you can afford it, only if you can afford it, because I appreciate it's a very difficult time for everybody at the moment. If you can afford it, then a donation is very helpful at the moment while ad rates are so very low. There is also Patreon as well. So we've got 64 patrons. We've picked up a couple of new patrons. I'm going to give them their shout outs in coming videos. So we've got 64 patrons, and hello and a big thank you to our 64 patrons. If you would like to go Patreon Gaz Webbies, again, all you need to do is come to the excuse me, come to the Gaz Webbies Patreon page. You sign up for a Patreon account, assuming you don't already have one, and then give an ongoing monthly donation from anything from $1 a month upwards to Gaz Webbies. And by doing that, you are becoming a patron for Gaz Webbies. Whether you do it through Patreon or PayPal, you get a mention videos. We give you a shout out. So thank you so much for doing that. And as I say, our promise to you is that we're going to keep going with the content. We're going to keep recording and uploading for as long as we possibly can. And we're going to keep going through this crisis. So just a big thank you to everybody who is helping us do that. Big thank you to all of our donors. Big thank you to all of our patrons. And a special thank you to Anonymous for your donation. Thank you so much, Anonymous, for doing that. Right, we're going to start off with the GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles for the next couple of weeks. So red line is a 30-year upper air temperature average for London at Old Wedge Central today. We're above average at the moment. It's very warm out there right now, and it's going to get even warmer through this afternoon down in the south. We could see temperatures up to 23, 24 degrees. And overall, the upper air temperatures are staying well above average now, really from beginning to end. So if we get rid of that little circle, that's where we are at the moment. This is where the ensemble mean is going to the last week of April, and really there's very little deviation from beginning to end. So it does look as though we're going to be keeping those upper air temperatures and surface temperatures holding up quite nicely over the next couple of weeks. So we'll be cooler interlude on Monday, on Bank Holiday Monday, as we pick up more of an easterly wind, probably bringing in a lot more cloud. But after that, we get back very quickly to significantly above average temperatures. And this is shaping up to be a very warm April now, I think. Precipitation-wise, a lot of dry weather to come in the next few days. There will be some precipitation over the bank holiday weekend, again Easter Sunday through to Easter Monday, then dry for a few days next week, a little bit more rainfall there, and then relatively dry as we go through into the sort of third week, then on to the last week of the month. Precipitation coming and going, but overall that is a very dry ensemble graph, so there isn't that much precipitation to be concerning ourselves with really in the coming couple of weeks, certainly not down in London anyway. Temperature anomalies from the 10th to the 18th of April, a little bit above average, maybe not quite as above average as you might have thought, given that ensemble that we was just looking at. But certainly a bit on the above average side anyway. Precipitation anomalies largely drier than average in weekend, with a temp to the 18th of April. Over in America, it really is getting much colder there, though, or it really is much colder there from the temp to the 18th of April. Look at that, widespread below average temperature anomalies, and substantially so through many parts of the state. Just this extreme western coast, Pacific coast of America is a little bit above average there, but most parts of the states really cold actually in the next week, with anomalies in those deep blue shadings. So yes, a very chilly week coming up for the states. Much less so in west of Europe. Precipitation for America really dry in the Pacific northwestern part of the states, otherwise varying from area to area. Back home, that's how the GFS is looking for Monday. So on Monday, bank holiday Monday, of course, high pressure is out to our northwest, and we're bringing in these east to northeasterly winds. And yes, they will lower the temperature, probably bringing in a lot more cloud as we go through to the second half of the weekend. But then the high pressure sort of sinks down over top of the country by Tuesday. We're back under high pressure, bringing mostly dry and fine conditions. Temperatures will quickly start to warm up, and this goes on into the middle of next week as well. By Thursday, low pressure is just beginning to threaten from the south, maybe bring some showery bursts of rain into more southern and southwestern parts of the country. Still warm though, winds are coming up from a south to southeasterly direction. Moving up towards day 10, then high pressure takes over across Scandinavia. So we've got a big Scandinavian high setting up there on the 20th of April, day 10. Winds are turning into the east. Of course, if this was winter, that would be bitterly cold air moving in from the east to northeast. It's the second half of April, so it's not going to be particularly cold. Actually, we saw with the upper air temperatures, they're going to remain relatively warm. But we probably will feel a bit of a chill as those easterlies pick up. And then in the more extended range, we start to move some higher pressure in, or some low pressure, I should say, in from off the Atlantic, at least for a time, before high pressure sort of takes over again as we get through to the very end of the GFS run, which is Sunday, 26th of April. We're back under high pressure. Winds are from a south-southeasterly direction, should be quite warm, and a reasonable amount of dry weather to come. So you see there are these brief interruptions of more unsettled conditions, just there, for example, on the 21st of April. But overall, for the 2 weeks to come, high pressure looks like it's pretty dominant, which was something that was coming through within JMA Friday as well, of course. That's how the GEM is looking for bank holiday Monday. Again, we're pulling in these east to northeasterly winds, probably bringing in a lot of cloud and lowering the temperatures. Then the high pressure sits over the top of the country as we go through into the middle of next week, bringing a return of dry and warm conditions. Towards the end of next week, we may start to threaten a little bit of low pressure to the south. Could be some showery bursts of rain there. But otherwise, a lot of dry weather, I think, into the second half next week, and warm temperatures too. Then moving up towards day 10, then the high pressure takes over across Scandinavia. Again, winds are in from the east. Should be quite a warmish wind, although probably chilly on the east coast and dragging in some low cloud too, perhaps. But this is all very standard spring fare. Easterlies are very common. Scandinavian highs are very common in the spring, especially later in April and through to May. It's very classic stuff, this, indicative of spring across Northern Europe. So nothing out of the ordinary, just what you tend to expect really in a typical spring. Lots of Scandinavian highs and lots of easterly winds. That's how things are looking with the ECM on bank holiday Monday, again pulling in those northeasterly winds across the country, temperatures lowering, probably bringing in quite a lot of cloud as well. Then the high pressure sinks down over top of the country by Tuesday, turning us drier and warmer again. Into Wednesday, the high pressure sticks around, keeps remain dry and warm. Through the second half next week, high pressure is in control, slipping to the east, but still enough of an influence to keep most of us dry, and temperatures should be quite warm as well. Moving up towards day 10, very little change really. That's how long as we get to day 10. High pressure is sitting over and to the east of the country. Low pressure out to west-southwest. Lots of static weather. Very little changes day to day. And temperatures should be warm, or perhaps even very warm. That's the sort of pattern that could still be lifting temperatures into the low to mid-20s Celsius, I would have thought. So very warm conditions continue up to day 10 with the ECM. Easy options are on the table within the ECM ensembles today for day 10. Gets us to the 20th of April. We have 17 members of the ECM ensembles with high pressure sitting over and to the east of the country, bringing in a warm or very warm southeasterly type flow there. 15 have high pressure again sitting over just to the east of the country, a little bit more of a southeasterly to southerly influence with that. Again, very warm conditions would be expected. It does include the operational and the control run too. 11 with a high pressure just slipping a little bit further eastwards. Low pressure coming in from off the Atlantic. That's trying to go a bit more unsettled, but we're still under high pressure really. And then 8 has high pressure centred right over top of the country. Again, bringing lots of dry and fine weather. So up to day 10, ECM ensembles are really going to town with high pressure now. In 2 weeks' time, these options that we've got, this gets us to the 25th of April. We have 21 members of the ECM ensemble still, with high pressure dominating just to the north of Scotland. Mainly dry, fine and warm with that. 17 with a high pressure, just a bit more out to the northwest. Could be slightly cooler there, bringing in winds from sort of a northeasterly direction. Should be a lot of dry weather, even with that option, but it is a bit cooler. And then 13 have the ridge sort of through the country of the Atlantic going to our east. Low pressures up to the north. Jet streams go northwards as well. And that's sort of a little bit more westerly. Might be a bit showery further north with that close to the jet stream. But overall, again, you'll get the idea from that even in a fortnight, we are still seeing strong anticyclonic influences here from the ECM ensembles today. And then finally, this Halbert CFS-V2 is forecasting May. So this is May's 700 millibar height anomaly with the CFS-V2. Looks anticyclonic. The high pressure fest continues into May with a big ridge there over top of the country. Low pressure is away to our north with jet stream as well. That looks like a mainly dry and warm May coming up. If that comes off, temperature anomalies are significantly above average for May, with bathed in those red colours, which on the temperature scale is 1 to 2 degrees above average. And precipitation wise, no signal, but of course with a ridge sitting more or less over the country, you would expect a dry month, if anything. So warm and dry, high pressure dominated weather goes on into May, if the CFS-V2 is right. That's a long way off, of course, very speculative. But, yes, looks like we are in a very extended period of higher pressure and drier conditions. Now, could it go on into the summer? That is the question. Finally, got a competition running at Gales Office in association with metcheck.co.uk weather instrumentation. So we are giving away the Climate CM7015 wireless rain gauge. It retails at £59.50. Somebody is going to win this on Sunday. We'll be announcing winner of our competition in a live video or in a video on Sunday. And yes, you will be seeing somebody winning this rain gauge, and you've got to be in it to win it. So if you would like to enter the competition, all you need to do is come to the Gales Office competition page, fill in the contact form just here, give us your name and local town or city, email that to galesoffice@gmail.com. You'll be entered into the prize draw, and on Sunday, somebody's name will be pulled out of the bag, and that person will win our rain gauge. And you'll be in it to win it, so we have had loads of entries so far. So a big thank to everybody who's entered so far. You've got 48 hours, just over 48 hours still to go before we close the competition and announce the winner. So get emailing, get yourself into the prize draw, and as I say, somebody is definitely going to win that rain gauge on Sunday. Everybody else, all runners up, are going to get an exclusive discount code, which I'm going to talk more about tomorrow, and then I'll announce that discount code as we give the winners video, do winners video on Sunday. But we will, all runners up will get a discount with metcheck.co.uk, but lasts for a month, purely for entering the competition, and more about that tomorrow. Right then, so that's it for your videos today. Enjoy the rest of this Good Friday. It's another vintage Good Friday. I think this is at least the third in succession that's been a vintage Good Friday. And enjoy the rest of it. Of course, you've got to stay within the confines of your home, except if you're going out grocery shopping or doing your hour of exercise. But generally, the idea is to stay home and protect the NHS to save lives, and that's what everybody's being very much asked to do. Despite this lovely weather that we've got at the moment, we have all got to adhere to the rules to get on top of this very, very horrible and nasty virus. So stay home, but if you've got a garden, you go out into your garden, enjoy the rest of your Good Friday. We've got loads of updates coming up over the rest of the Easter weekend. Tomorrow we've got weekend broadcast, got a week 10-day update as well. Sunday we're going to have some summer analogues for you. We'll have Gazza, Miss Sunday Roundup. We'll be giving away the rain gauge. And then of course on Monday we've got the historic weather video. It's going to be episode 2 of the Frozen 40s trilogy, looking at the winter of 1940-1941, another freezing cold winter and January. And I'm going to get that recorded. I may record that tonight, actually. It's going to be an epic, and that'll be with you on Easter Monday. Alright then, that's it for today's videos, though, so thanks for watching.